Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to get a full screen here just to see what it would look like, but actually, these camera settings make it look like I have lipstick on. But good morning, Millet. Good morning, W3, Anti, Chris King, ED Trading. Um, Seppers, is that how you say it? How you guys doing today? Yeah, I just wanted to get a full screen view just to see what it would look like. Just try to test it out, see if you guys like it. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, AMH. Good morning, everybody. By the way, if you are watching on X, head over to youtube.com/at thelab.live so you can chat with us, drop a like, subscribe. We did hit 3K subscribers yesterday, so pretty big milestone. Appreciate everybody that has uh has spent their mornings, their afternoons, their evenings with us. It really does mean a lot. And we took a winning trade yesterday during the PM session, so we'll see if we can actually close out on a green day today. Green week overall, not bad. Um, we've been scalping the 15-second like crazy. So let's see if we can just get into the charts and see what they have to offer for today. So it looks like we're actually down, what is it? 1.6% for the day, which is kind of nuts. We're already starting to retrace into the Wednesday lows. I'm not saying I'm going to look for longs because, to be honest, when we're down this much, it seems a little counterintuitive to search for that. Um, but it does look like we're coming close to 21,900 flats. And it does look like it kind of wants this external low. What's up, HM? How are you guys doing? But yeah, how did you guys join Juno in the London session? Anyways, let's take a look here. Look, see, look. No 4 hour swing to the downside. Lies. I'm what's up? But yeah, did you guys join Juno for the London session or? Yep, no trades from memory. What's up, Chris? And midnight is so far up, by the way. Good morning. Oh, what's up? Juno don't trade today. Oh, dude, I need to sneeze so bad. I hate it when it's like just kind of like edging. Oh, Juno didn't take a trade today. That's fair. This guy, Juno is killing it. Hold on, boys. I feel like the sneeze is coming, and I just haven't been able to get it out. Nope, not yet. Anyways, what's up, Chris? Whatever. We'll let it edge. Um, anyways, not really a massive open, high, low, and close for the daily chart. You just kind of came in midnight, made two ticks above the opening or the midnight opening price, and then just kind of died. I'm not a huge fan of trading whenever, like, if prior to 9:30 open, we're down or up more than 1%. I'm not a huge fan of trading that day just because the open could potentially be sideways. Who is the better scalper from the lab team, according to me? Scalp? I mean, I think we all technically scalp. The only person that doesn't really scalp is Bray. Jungle room ready? Hell yeah, dude. It's getting it's getting Tarzani in here. What's up, Auntie? By the way, for those of you guys that drop a like, for those of you guys that share, for those of you guys that drop a like and share the stream today, um, let's see, what can I give you all? Thank us. Thank you. Anyways, back to the charts. Um, 4 hours not really giving me too much information. Daily chart. What's up, Sim Trady? How are you, man? Daily charts. We're actually back below the weekly open. So it means, yeah, bearish candle on the weekly. Back below the weekly open, which, to be honest, like, I'm not too fussed. Oh, but Alex, price is currently trending lower. That's fair. But to be honest, if 29,075 gives us a good reaction here, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe potentially seeking some longs. But the thing is, like, this current movement just looks so incredibly bearish. Similar theme on ES, I believe. The thing is, if you compare the two assets, it looks like they're just completely, actually, not that far off. ES is just slightly higher. ES is also tapping into its weekly open. So we'll see. ES has been leading this week. You can kind of tell, like, if you look back and you look at the reactions from where NQ is getting sharp moves, it's mostly because ES is kind of leading the way. But yeah, I don't believe we have news today. Nothing on Forex Factory that's noteworthy, or nothing at all, actually. Let me see. Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30, but this is yellow folder, so we won't really see it um create any crazy movements. But yeah, how did you guys end up the day yesterday? Did you guys end up green? Did you guys end up red? Green, not big, but okay. Yeah, I'm looking at, well, I don't want to force a win, but it'd be nice to get a win today, secure a payout. Which kind of reminds me, same. I need to make this quick little change. There we go. By the way, for those of you that like the stream and share the stream, I'm thinking I'll give out, let's see, maybe we could do I'll do a hmm, 50K Lucid Pro. For those of you guys that like the stream, share the stream. And follow us on X. I think we'll do a 50K Lucid Pro. We'll see. I might pick from the people that chat the most, to be honest. Passing in Tradify 50K growth in London and made half of the Tradify Select. Hell yeah. How you liking the rule differences? I feel like today just might be such a slow day too. It's so crazy because we marked this out yesterday during the PM and the AM session, and I actually put on no risk exposure at all. I was like, I'm short. I'm I really want to short gold. I really want to short gold. I'm looking for some exposure and I actually completely forgot about it. I like no consistency in the funded account on select and daily payouts. It's more like a lucid flex account. Yeah, TPT is like that. That's why it's like I kind of do like it's trade-off, right? Like at least on the TPT accounts, I'm an artist. On the TPT accounts, it's 5 days to pass. Look at me, bro. But daily payouts. So truth of the matter is it's like, yes, this might take you some time, ultimately, passing the eval, but either way, I think it's 50% consistency. And then you get the daily the daily payouts. So like if you get to above buffer on your account and slightly more, you can actually just realistically take that out that same day. Obviously, it depends on what you're risking, but what I like to do, at least, isn't there funded intraday trailing drawdown though? Yes, that's also true. It's intraday trailing up until the buffer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, which is a little, I'm trading some right now, and I will tell you, it kind of does throw me off sometimes. Because I forget about it. Not that I obviously consciously forget about it, but it's just like I could be on a position and I'm forced to maybe scalp it a little bit quicker than I usually would like to. Because I don't want to risk the intraday trailing just completely ruining me. But truth of the matter is, it's like sure you have intraday, but the daily payouts really does make it up. Yeah, it's not easy. You just have to take your time and take the small hits. Yeah. I like a GC long scalp here if we close the 5 minute and confirm the breaker. So basically full port to get past the drawdown. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. Don't take it that way. Anyways, yeah. So today, I'll do this out of my own. But today, If we get to 100 likes, the person that's, or not the person that's been chatting the most, but I'll pick out of the people that are being active that share the stream. And if you can prove to me that you shared it, and you're here and you're talking to us, I'll pick one of you guys out and give you guys a 50K Lucid Pro. So we'll see. Okay, fine, I'll spam. No, no spamming. You guys better not. I don't want to see I don't want to see crazy spam. I don't have any friends. Uh, but yeah, the did you catch anything so today? No, dude, I just woke up. I woke up like an hour ago. I woke up at like 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I do my usual routine, you know. I wake up, open my blinds, drink like a quarter of gallon of water, do a couple push-ups, make sure I look good, make sure I put on my lab shirt, I do a couple push-ups, I try to make the lab shirt feel a little bit tighter on me, you know, so I look good on stream. Moisturize my face, brush my teeth. Brush my teeth with the opposite hand, actually, to wake up your brain. Fun fact. Brush your teeth with the opposite. If you're ever feeling sleepy in the morning, brush your teeth with the opposite hand, and you'll actually end up feeling a little bit more awake. Boom, eye drops in, stretch, and I was like basically ready to go. I eat biscuits to make my shirt feel tight on me. You guys are funny. But yeah, how are you guys liking the new setup? Whoa. Zoom. You guys see those calluses? Oh, great. Now I can't get it to focus. Looks good. Focus on me. Hello, camera. But yeah, I get a new mic tomorrow, so I won't have this little baby mic going. You guys will probably hear me better too. Not that this is a bad mic. I don't think it's a bad mic. I mean, how's my audio? Is it good? Could be better though. I need like one of those ASMR mics. I need one of those ASMR mics so I can let you guys know that I'm getting stopped. Like I can like whisper it to you, you know? Do you watch NFL? No, I don't. I don't really watch a lot of sports. The only sport I do watch is basketball, but that's about it. I don't watch yeah, sorry, man. I don't even actually really know a lot about football. I just watch basketball and what's it called? And sometimes I go to like random sports events, I guess. I went to uh an NHL game the other day. By the way, what are you guys using for your journals? I'm kind of curious. Like, what are you guys using for? I know, I think I asked this the other day, but who in here like handwrites their shit? Man, I'm really curious to see how far gold goes. Notion? Do you journal every day? By the way, 100 likes, more shares, 50K. Oh, and if you follow me on Instagram, just kidding. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, hopefully, actually last, or hopefully for next week, going into next week, my wall will be, dark wood. Dark wood lighting will change. The monitors in the back will be on. I'll have charts up. Or maybe if you guys submit pictures of your dogs, I can just put them up behind me. How funny would that be? Not funny, I guess more cute, right? I found this website which is very nice for journaling. It's becoming like TradeZilla with automated MT4, MT5, and backtesting feature. I'm pretty sure you can set up MT5 on TradeZilla though. I personally use TradeZilla. I think honestly, their UI design could be better though. That's just me being frank. That's just me being frank. That's just me being frank. I use TradeZilla and Word. I like that, man. I actually like that. I'm a big fan of using. Do we want to call them legacy? Are we starting to call these things legacy? I feel like obviously at office jobs they still use these things, but we have so many new tools. We have so many new tools that it kind of feels almost like I don't know, like you're not taking advantage of the tools if you're not using them. But I also like the rawness, boss, and the extra bit of effort that it actually takes to journal on something like in a spreadsheet or a Google Word document. Because it's like, obviously, if you're using a spreadsheet, you have to build it out, take into consideration. And then on top of that, you have to input all of the information, right? Whereas opposed to if you're just tracking it automatically, it's different. But TradeZilla costs like $50 a month. No, TradeZilla is, I'll tell you right now, Zella. It's $30 a month, yeah, for the basic. I think it's like 23 with the code lab. But yeah, that's understandable. But the thing is, it's also browser like, and obviously I'm not trying to convince you guys here or anything, but just think of like, stick with me for a second. Like, you're making financial decisions, right? So it's like, would you not want to spend some money and invest in tools that would help that to your benefit? You also get a backtesting software. Question. Passed Apex Eval 50K end of day with 53,093 balance. Now need to pay the account fee 129 and then again to make the 52,500 balance before payouts. So 55,500 threshold before any payouts. Is that normal for props? So, okay, obviously the eval stage, eval and fundeds are it's two different stages, but technically from are you saying 55,500 because you're adding the two balances? If so, then yeah, it is normal because it's the same. For example, like on the TPT accounts that I'm using right now, I had to pass with the 50K, which was 3,000, and then I need to build the $2,100 buffer, which is technically if it's an aggregate, it would be 5,100. It's sad that Zella backtesting doesn't have the adjust for contract changes and settlement features. Yeah, that's a good point. If they don't have that, then I'll bring that up to them and ask them and see what's up, see if we can do anything about that. NQ is just dropping like a rock. Nothing for me here. Yeah, boys. Just kind of observing this gold chart. What a shame, man. What a shame. Okay, is TPT required to pay activation fee? Um, no, no activation fee. TPT is TPT is uh $85 right now with the 50% discount. Um, but the trade-off here is you have end of day and the TPT accounts are intraday trailing. There are like so many gaps. We can't hear you. I feel like everybody else can hear me, Rodrigo. So this might be something on your end. If my volume is low, that's a different story. We can definitely hear you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Millie, man. Can hear you loud and clear, boss. I appreciate it. Why sell off not giving proper short setups lately? Um, just the signs of the times. I can hear the ASMR tones. Really? Like my gulps? Like when I drink water? If I was a streamer and people kept saying we can't hear you, I'd go nuts. Yeah, man. Sanity check. Sanity check for me today. Nah, it was a busy week, man. It was a busy week. I was on basically all AMs. Um, oh yeah, I was on the entire week for AM session and then three out of the PM sessions. What's your average monthly R? I don't measure average monthly R. I measure R by quarters. Yeah, boys. But no, listen, as I was saying, like I do appreciate all of you guys that stopped by. Um and listen to me yap and the rest of the team yap. So really Apex adverts $35 and 50K end of day promo, but at passing you pay 129, so it's 164. I'm actually surprised. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Auntie. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. So Apex is actually one of the few firms that has that activation fee. Lucid 50K pros don't have an activation fee. Um, the Tradeify, Growth, and Select don't have an activation fee either. So it's really just about picking the right one, right? Excuse me. I was about to cough up a storm there. Man, gold puts would be up enormously. I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. That's why like always check the always check the end all price. Here comes a profit and compare input. Um, what's it called? Yeah, on if you go to the profit and compare site and you just click on the uh on the account. Here, let me see if I can pull this up. Man, I really need to stabilize this fucking desk that I'm using. Where is this? Alex, one more question. Can you give one, two, three on how you trade passing accounts versus evals? Yeah, man, this is actually pretty simple. Um, I'm pretty aggressive on them, honestly, on evals. So evals, I'm looking to do 20% risk per, and then fundeds, I'm doing 5 to 10, which means evals, it takes me 5 to blow the account, and on fundeds, it takes me from 10 to 20. Losing trade, like consecutive losing trades, that's what I mean. Because that this is where you start thinking in percentages and the numbers, right? So obviously you should have a table that leads you to this, right? Which is why I have the risk of ruin table that I use. And I'll kind of show it to you guys really quickly. So um, let me see if I can. Here we go. I can pull this up. So this is what you call a pretty much a basic sensitivity matrix. And what this does is it's a table that pretty much calculates the probabilities of you hitting your drawdown on the selected account, right? So it really just depends. But this is what I like to kind of go based off of. Obviously, there are more inputs that you can use, but it's like, for example, if I have a 30% win rate with an average 3-to-1 RR, then there's a 30% chance that I'll likely blow it, you know? So I have a very basic table that obviously again there are different inputs that I use um that could maybe change the calculation, but this is typically what you're looking at, right? Which means that 55% win rate, obviously one to one RR works perfect, right? Because your edge is basically the 5%. Um, 50% win rate with a 1 to 1.5 to 1, right? So it's always important to just have kind of these numbers in the back of your head. And it's always important to know how much you're risking, right? If my if on a 50K account, my max drawdown is 2000, like let's just do some basic math here. If my 50K on my 50K account, if my max drawdown is 2000 and I'm risking $200 per trade, like let's just do some basic math. This is gonna be kind of elementary, but what's my risk here? Like in percentage? 10, right? Which means that it takes me 10 trades, 10 consecutive losses to blow the account, right? Now, if I'm going for a one-to-one RR, this is where your risk to reward obviously affects the rest of the inputs. I can't even spell this, whatever, you guys get the idea. If I'm doing a 1 to 2, then obviously it would take me 5 trades. If I'm doing a 1 to 3, take me roughly 3 trades, right? So it all just depends on what your model is. Like if you know you have a 55% win rate model, right? Um, you should probably know what the probabilities are of taking, like, what is the maximum amount of consecutive losses that you can take using your model, considering the fact that it's a 55% win rate model. Because truth of the matter is, if you have a 55%, 52% win rate model, the odds of you taking 10 consecutive losses are like 0 to none or 1 to none, basically non-existent. As long as you're executing on the model, right? The losses that are from an emotional input and like behavioral, I like to call them behavioral losses because it's purely like psychological, then that's different because then at that point you're like almost you're trading outside of the spectrum um of the probabilities. Like you're no longer whenever you take a behavioral trade or an impulsive trade, that trade is outside of the spectrum of all of the data that you've collected for your model. So it doesn't count as a statistical, it doesn't count as a um God, what's the word that I'm looking for? Sorry. So 55% win on 10 to 10 is 5.5 wins versus 4.5 losses. If you would like to see it that way, yeah. Technically from like a, from that standpoint, if you have a 55% win rate, that means that across 100 trades, you're going to win 55 and lose 45. But that doesn't mean obviously that you're going to win all 55, consecutively, or you're going to lose all 45 consecutively. It's going to, through time, it'll balance it out, which is why it's important that you calculate risk, right? Because that's where, and this is where I was, and sometimes I obviously still do because I do over risk. I'm human. Like I make all the mistakes. I make all the mistakes. I still make all the mistakes, right? I still fucking, if I find myself being not stopped out, but like, what's one thing that really tilts me? I think being break even, or when a trade comes up basically 3, 4 points short of my take profit and then it stops me break even, like that shit tilts the fuck out of me, right? Um, the difference is just like either I just call it or I trade something else. Like if I take a trade on my 50Ks or my fundeds, if I take a trade on my fundeds and I take two consecutive break evens and it comes back to me like it's about to hit my take profit twice and then it stops me break even, like I'm getting pissed. And like I know myself. So what am I gonna do? Like I'd rather blow an eval than blow my funded account at that point, right? So what can I do? I can just reduce my risk. So what do? I go over to an eval and then I trade micros on an eval, right? If I really, really want to get the itch out, you know? So the reality of it is it's like it's not really about removing your emotions completely because you can't be a computer. It's impossible to be a computer. I don't know. At least for me, it seems it's like if anybody tells you, oh, you just have to be emotionless, I don't know, man. That seems kind of fucking hard. I don't think I can be fully emotionless. So what do you do? Like, what's the smart? If you can stop yourself in your tracks, the more you do it, and believe me, like I was making the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over, and it almost kind of makes you feel like you're kind of dumb, right? It's like, how could I be like I don't usually do this. Like in any other real world experience, you could easily learn from your mistakes, right? It's so funny. Like trading is the only business where you will make the same mistake over and over and over and over again, and you know and you're fully aware that you do it, but yet you continue doing it, right? And it's hilarious because in any other industry, it's like um what's it called? In any other industry, it's like, man, if I make a mistake at my job when I had 9 to 5, whatever, it's like that. I learn like that. I pick it up. Let's move on. But in this industry, it's really like, it's tough, man. And I think that that's the reality that a lot of people miss. I think that's the reality that a lot of people miss. And I think it's also because it's a lack of accountability. Um, so I think and one of the biggest, I would say one of the biggest features that some of the most successful traders that I know around me is being incredibly self-aware and holding themselves accountable at all times, which is why it makes me like kind of you are not your mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is why it makes me kind of not irritated, but I don't think it's good when you blame the market. I would say don't ever blame the market. Whenever you take a loss or you take a win or you take a break even or you take a trade at all, like that is completely your decision and your responsibility. Like there is nothing, the market doesn't even acknowledge your existence. Like that's the truth. It doesn't even know you exist. Your sim funded orders are not hitting the book, right? Like these things are not getting processed. You're not even a real figure to the market, right? So you're not even actually affecting the book. Um, so the truth of the matter is, it's like you are fully responsible for pressing the button. So if you wake up today and you take two trades or you go on tilt, the outcome is completely based on your performance. So that's also the blessing. It's a double-edged sword, right? What's up, George? But the way I like to see it, the way that I think is the best way to see it, and one of the things that has helped me the most is your model is your model or your system is pretty much you have to be a boss and you have to be an employee. Like you have to be both. That's the way I see it. So because let's think about it this way, right? Let's say I hired hypothetically, let's say I hired you guys, right? And I said, yo, here's a piece of paper. This is what you have to do. Just do this every day. And if It's conditional, right? It changes every day. Just do this every day. And if you can't do it that day, then it's okay. You don't have to do it. But you get paid to do that, right? Wouldn't the perspective shift a little bit? If I was like, hey, I sat you down, I said, hey, I'll pay you this much a month. I'll pay you fucking 10 grand a month. If you just sit down and look at this piece of paper, and when you see this pop up on a chart, you take it. And if you don't see it, then you just don't take it. How easier would it be for you then, as opposed to it being just yourself, right? I was like, dude, I'll pay you. Like, look at this piece of paper, look at this trading model. If you can just trade this whenever it appears and not trade it if it doesn't appear, then we'll pay you 10 grand a month. So you kind of have to be the boss and the employee. So the employee is like, okay, I'll just listen. I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid to do what I just need to do. And if it, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, right? Because at the end of the day, like you really just need to follow instructions. That's what models are for. Like you build a trading model, and then you build a piece of paper somewhere that has rules on it. And the rules are simple. You can make simple rules. Like if I take two consecutive losses, then I log out of my account, right? But because that you know that there's might be another opportunity on the other side, right? The grass might be greener. You decide to take that extra step, and then that extra trade, and then that extra this, and then those small little losses that you take when you don't follow your rules end up just like adding up. And so your behavior starts to change, right? That's why the small little wins are so important. That's why I think like a morning, not necessarily like a strict morning routine. I'm not saying go over there and fucking put banana peels on your face, right? But I'm saying like having a structured morning, like waking up, um, knowing that you got to fill out your journal, right? Before you take a trade, like open a Word document, write some stuff down. Um, it's important, right? Because it's a small little win. Because it's every time you do something, or every time you fail to do something that you said you would do, no matter how small it is, like internally and psychologically, it's a loss, at least in my opinion. So yeah, don't let anybody ever fool you and tell you that it's easy. It's not easy, but it is simple. That's the funny part. It it's not easy, but it is simple. It is simple and it'll feel incredibly simple when you look back at it and you're like, you know what, this was incredibly worth it. The odds are stacked against you guys. That's the truth. You're working in a business that the odds are the odds are stacked against you. I'm not saying the market is out to get you. I'm just saying the odds are not that the odds are stacked against you, but I would say that the odds are low and it's hard. It's a hard business because not only do you have to make the money, but then you have to keep the money. And I would say that keeping the money is the harder part, actually. That's the harder part because I could wake up tomorrow and it's happened before, right? With one of my, it was supposed to be one of my biggest payouts. This was 2020, either end of 2023 or beginning of 2024. I had like a 32K payout loaded. It was good to go. I swear, like all I needed was like maybe one more day, one more trading day. 32K payout loaded. I blew that account, man. So, yeah, I would argue that sometimes the hardest part is keeping the money. Because I see it. I see a lot of you guys in here. You guys know what you're talking about. You guys know exactly. Like when I mentioned mistakes and when I mentioned tilt, like you guys are very self-aware. Like you know exactly what makes you tilt, right? So I would say that it's really just about building a protocol that saves your ass from making all the silly mistakes. Because if you had a risk manager, if I was like watching you trade, if I was watching you trade and I would stop you before you went on tilt or whatever it is, went on to make the mistakes of over risking. If I was like, if I was behind your screen and looking at your trade and I see that you take a loss and then you go over to the contract sides and you add another contract, I'd be like, yeah, you're done. You're done, buddy. Log off. Like, go home. Things would change, right? But we all know because there's an infinite amount of opportunity in the market that subconsciously you're like, ooh, like, what if, when the logic should be, um, how, like, longevity. Like, how can I stay in the game longer? Because, what's it called? The feelings never really go away, but what changes is that you no longer act on them. Yeah, exactly. Either A, you no longer act on them, or B, you have a system in place that lets you diminish the amount of damage that the mistakes make. So, because like, who cares, right? Like, I would much rather, what's it called? I'd much rather you go on tilt, and this is the thing, right? This is the thing that, and sorry guys, I know it seems like kind of I'm kind of passionate about this, but it's the truth. This is the thing. Everybody says, "Yo, oh, if you go on tilt or you got this emotional, just stop doing it." What? That's so bullshit, right? It's like, oh, but just stop doing it. Like, oh, you just stop doing it. Like, oh, how'd you? Oh, I just stopped doing it. Like one day, like honestly, truth of the matter, you need to acknowledge what the issue is, right? First step is acknowledging what the issue is. Second step is acknowledging how you can fix it. And the third step is actioning it. Like, what can you do on a day-to-day basis that could change that behavior as opposed to just like maybe hoping it changes, right? Like, what kind of action can you do on a daily basis to change that? Um, and let me give you some examples. One really good example is maybe have your journal, and this one was actually, I think Ryan mentioned this the other day, Dodgy. Having a journal right next to your chart, right next to your chart, so you're forced to look at your journal as your chart is open or as your trading software is open. So you just like you instantly journal as soon as you put on a trade. Um, what else? Printing out your charts and marking them up is also a big one. Another one, and this is one of my favorites, and I used to do this and I don't do it anymore, and I probably should do it more, is if you guys have read a trading psychology book, right? If you guys are ready or are reading a trading psychology book or have read a trading psychology book, go to the page or the chapter that, oh, sorry, I'm kind of losing focus here. Go to the page or chapter that really hits you and is really close to the main issue that you have. And before every single trading session, you open that page up and just read it. Like read it. Because truth of the matter is like reading actually makes you more conscious about the decisions that you're making. So what are the major issues that you guys think you guys have? You don't have to out yourself like I'm not asking you to do that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But I just want to know just so I can, it's like what are the main issues that you guys face, you would say? Oh, my vintage square glasses right here. Zeus not being as handsome as you. Thanks, man. Risk management. Uh, over trading is the main I'm struggling with right now. Tilt mostly trying to make everything in one day. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. Hmm. How can I? Unfortunately, most of us learn the hard way. Yeah, that too, for sure. Still learning models, trade management for me. That's fair, guys. Hey, listen. Again, it sounds like you guys fully understand what the issue is. Just create a plan that involves you working on that every day, right? It's a small little habits and small little things. A small portion of everything like the bad habits. Yeah. Because the market's not going anywhere. And I also think that this, and you can let me know if I'm completely fucking wrong, but what's it called? The market's not going anywhere, and I know that a lot of us feel a lot of pressure to make it really fast, and that pressure might be because of family, right? It could be family, it could be you just want to get rich quick, you want to make it, you want to feel successful, right? Um, and I know a lot of us in here are obviously guys and are younger, we have a younger crowd. I'd assume 20 to 30 around that range. So I feel like we all have that kind of pressure to like really, really make it, you know. But I would argue that and it feels counterintuitive, but a lot of the times not taking a trade advances you in your trading career more than taking a trade does, you know? Anyways, my children are in their 20s. I was just saying, like in general, I know we got some of you older folk. Chris. I'm 50, I still have that pressure. Yeah, I feel like that pressure will never go away. Last year I managed to pass challenges, but then I always blew up the funded. Have you changed your time frame? Remember time frame? Is that what you meant by TF? Sorry, the other day I guess somebody was saying I guess, but they were actually saying Instagram. So I just want to make sure. But yeah. Yeah, I trade the 15 second, man. I've been scalping the 15 second pretty well last few weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of I like to watch the 1 hour, get an idea of my bias, um, see where kind of things want to go, and then we'll get to it. Anyways, 9:30 open coming up here in about 25 minutes. But yeah, solo day for me today, guys. Solo dolo. Next week though, we'll have a on Monday. We'll have a three people on stream Monday, Tuesday, for the New York AM session, and then the regular London and PM. This year I cannot pass challenge. I will try not to rush it. The more you try to rush it, the more you try to rush it, the longer it's going to take you, to be honest. Yes, yeah. He'll be on next week. Yeah. What do you think on 15-minute NQ we're gonna hit Wednesday low? I think so. I think we will. Does that mean I'm looking for a trade? No. I would also argue that one of the biggest pitfalls for many traders is allowing outside influences to affect their decision making. They become swayed by opinions and trading groups or fall into the trap of comparing themselves to others. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, guys, I never incentivize anybody to take my trades. We obviously trade live because like I like doing it and everybody in the group likes doing it and we like being live and talking to you guys and just the we enjoy it. I've been doing this for a while. Kane has been doing it for longer than I have. Bray, Leo, like they all enjoy being live. Why not trade to Wednesday low? Eh, because A, we're nearly down 2% for the day, and I'd rather not try to take a short at these lows. If I were to take a short, I would much rather wait for at least the sweep of a previous hourly high. Debt and bills really fuck up trading, even if you're a super skilled trader. Yeah. My point is that at some point you have to stand on your own feet without any. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Don't ever let me or anybody on here influence your decisions. Like, be decisive. If we agree on a trade, fire. Good. Awesome. If you're trying to learn our models, that's even better. But if you're feeling really strongly that you want to short or you want to long and we're on the opposite side of that, we could very well be wrong. What's up, Kevin? I love your energy, man. I love it. I love I love you all. Uh, but yeah, any questions or listen, if you guys ever need to talk or anything or ever need to get anything off your chest, my Instagram DMs and my X DMs, I go through them a lot. So I know this is it's a tough job, but like if you guys ever need to talk or have any questions or anything at all, just let me know. Open up Instagram, DM me if you want. DM me on X. I'm there, man. I'm there. I know this shit's hard. I won't pity you or anything, obviously. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just saying, like, if you guys want to fucking talk about it. Because there are a lot of people, um, sometimes I'm assuming, and this is me making an assumption because there are not a lot of people that I know in real life. I do now because I'm in the industry. But when I was first starting out and I was trading by myself, like I didn't know anybody. So I was like, who the fuck am I supposed to talk to about? You know? I come to your stream to have a similar mindset or to confirm my bias, not for signals. Really helped me in the past 2 weeks. Hell yes, guy. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've been on an absolute tear. Not even gonna lie to you guys. You guys know I call myself out when I'm trading like shit. But like last week or last few days, I think Monday was my worst day this week. But last 2, 3 weeks, we've been on a fucking tear on that 15-second chart. Anyways, yeah, the glaze is allowed. Yeah, yeah. As long as the glaze is allowed, as long as I also fucking, you know, if I'm trading like shit, I'll tell you guys I'm trading like shit. I'll be like, yo, I'm trading like dog shit, you know. And that's also important. Did I know Tyler? I did know Tyler, man. I did know Tyler. And it's funny that you really mentioned that. And I think it's super, super, super weird that I don't know, maybe what's the term for it, but I literally 2, 3 days ago, I was going through my bookmark posts and I saw one of his posts and I just went through his entire feed again. And I was like, damn, like, because truth be told, like some of his like material and his educational stuff is just so clean, so good. And I was like, damn, um, like this is crazy, you know? Um, so yeah, it's actually kind of insane that you mentioned that. Tyler was just like this big, uh, he's a young kid, young trader on X. 4500 PX was he's at. Morning, Fred. What's up, Drew? Edie, I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for real. This is a good, good stuff. I'm just kind of playing like with my Pokemon cards here. Kevin, I don't really want to mention. But yeah, yeah. Alex into Pokemon cards too. Yeah, yeah. You can blame everybody, the whole gang into it. Yeah, yeah. I just like, no, I don't really collect. I do have a couple bangers in my room though. Yeah, how'd you know? Zeus, how'd you know? Yeah, that's exactly who is responsible. Boss need content on cars on IG. Shay, I'm into MTG. Yeah, I remember Tyler Hughes. Yeah. Dude, he was so consistent, so simple, such a simple model, so good. Um, Somebody else that also really talked to him a lot was Juno. Yeah, but they're like I just like buying things that look cool, that I like. I always think that it's like if you see something that looks cool and you like it, like just buy it. If it's not popular, it's not popular, like whatever, who cares? But I have like two shiny Greninjas from the 2000s in my room. They look fire. I kind of want to get them graded. I forgot which they're talking about buying cases on the lab streams. Bro, there's like 10 cases behind this camera. PSA grading, yeah. Yeah, I gotta get them graded. Then I have a Mewtwo. But yeah. Don't collect just to I'm on the search for my binder. I'm on the search for my binder from my childhood. So I have to go back to my home country and look for that because I'm like pretty sure I have crazy stuff in there. Man, really wanted to find them all. Yeah. I'd love to have a guest on here next week, though. You know who stopped by yesterday's PM stream? T Trades. Would love to have him on. It was so funny. He called. He literally called my phone. He's like, put me on speaker. Okay, hey chat. I gotta find your IG on my Pokemon page. Haha, I follow Max on there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you wanna, here I'll put it in chat. Zeus, that's my IG. I'll follow you back. I see Rip T. RIP. Yeah, yeah. I thought you meant T trades. I was like, but yes, yeah. That's what happened. But no, he was a super consistent trader. We didn't talk like a lot, but we did talk like a few times. ICTT. Anyways, 9:30 coming up here in 14 minutes. Uh, Gold is just dumping seemingly, it seems. Yeah, TTFM is good. It is. It is. It's good logic. I think anything could be, or not anything could be good, but don't ever shit on other concepts, guys. Don't ever. I know we make them as the jokes about like sim SMAs and VWAP and all this and all that, but they can be useful. You can build a whole entire model out of them. I have them on my charts. What, the TTFM or VWAP? Get ready for OPEX chop. Yeah, true, Chris. Oh, dude. Today's OPEX, right? Thanks for reminding me. Is it? Third Friday of every month. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is the third Friday. Is it? Nah. Yes. Yeah, May 1st was the first Friday. That is crazy. By the way, drop a like, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share the stream. Chat it up. Thinking about giving away a little 50K Lucid Pro here. So if I see that you're active, share the stream, drop a likes, do your thing. Was it 2 days ago, I think? No, it's today. Today's Friday. Silly goose. Just added you on Insta. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm posting a lot of content on there, so you guys can head over and give a follow. A lot of good stuff too. Yeah, I'm trying to be really consistent with it. No, I'm not trying. I will be, or I am really consistent with it. The difference there. Morning. Morning, sleepyhead. Yo, Jack, where are you right now, man? Sleepyhead. Um, Cali, dude, it's like 5 in the morning for you. You got jet lag? Doing 1 hour and then gonna jump off of a plane? Jeez, man. Casual Jack things. Can't believe Jack Lee is fuck yeah. Yeah, that guy skydives like like every day. It's like an everyday thing for him. I put it up here. Okay, let's see. Market opens coming up here. I think I've talked enough about everything. This was more of like a psychological stream review, to be honest, more than anything else. 29,242's. I just want to see if we can get above there. If I'm looking for lower, realistically, if I am looking for here's my issue, boys. Here's my issue. Is that I really, really like the areas where price like reaccumulates. So here, this candle to me can produce a significant point of reaccumulation. And you'll also notice that I think if it should load. Yeah, you'll also notice that it's the POC of that specific day. Not necessarily on the dot, but more so the 44s. Not the POC, sorry. Jeez, what am I saying? Value area low. Is that also a yeah, that's also near a open. Awesome. I have jumped. Oh, dude. Damn, look, skydiving buddies. So yeah, I am a huge fan of these candles because not only are you stepping into a discount, price reaccumulated at the 156s, this is what led into the high. The only reason this high exists is because this low was put in place. You guys see what I mean? This needed to be formed before the expansion into the highs. So if we can go back to, I, I don't know, people call it a different thing, but the scene of the crime, right? Because this is ideally what led into the impulse. If we can come back to these prices, this is where I'd be interested for a reaccumulation, which happens to also be at a discounted price point. And you guys know me, and you guys know if you know the lab model, then you know what the LLT is, right? The logical liquidity target. The logical liquidity target is the first low at a discount if you're looking to short. What is this? This is the first low at a discount. The difference is sometimes there can either be a divergence or the candle itself can produce a reaction towards the upside. So we'll see. 9:30 open in about 7 minutes. Let me open up my accounts here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Where the fuck is my chart? I was like, I opened up Tradeovate and like my chart wasn't loading. I was like, where the fuck is my chart? I pulled up in here and it got 5 Lucid Flex fundeds ready to blow. Um, I was thinking we should do something. We should do something like so I had this suggestion the other day from somebody. They were like, "Yo, you should do like phone a friend on your stream and let them pick the trade." And I was like, "That is hilarious." Like call another trader friend and be like, "Yo, I won't tell them I'm on stream. I'll just be like, yo, long or short this market." They're like, long or short. And then we just did, not full port. I don't want to cause, I don't want to create that kind of image, but it'd be funny. It would be funny. Take like a trade in that direction. Just enter whatever on whatever they say. Or let the chat pick. That would also be good. Fuck that. Here's how to efficiently back it. Yeah, good stuff, right? Good stuff. I'm really into making like cinematic stuff. You guys will notice that on my Instagram. I'm in longs from 29.1 to 8.0 off the FUG reaction. Hell yeah, man. I am in nothing at the moment, actually. So just gonna let the 9:30 play out. I'll tell you what, like my win rate from 9:30 to 9:35 is absolutely atrocious. So I typically always trade after 9:35. Not unless the setup is stupid clean. Then in that case, like whatever. But I will likely, what is it? De-risk. Where's my Take Profit Pro account? There it is. Intraday trailing demon. I sometimes think that some of these hard rules can make you a better trader if you flip it the positive way. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm like a glass half full kind of guy. So yeah, glass half full kind of situation. See if we can catch something today. Would be nice. What prop firms do you trade? TPT, Lucid, Tradeify. Top three. Big dogs. Big dogs. 928 giving a nice little push here. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I do like the reaction from this 15-minute reaccumulation here. You're starting to get above these prices. You got a breaker. You now have a breaker. Shout out Bray. Or actually, Juno would probably take this. Whoops. I mean, yeah, I don't have a 9 to 5, but I do work. Um, the lab is a company. So I have you know, a 12 to 7. But I do love what I do, and I do love working on stuff for the lab. I don't see myself doing anything else. 29 260, but my background is in finance. Ah, jeez, is this thing just gonna push into the highs, man? Don't do it to us. Don't make me FOMO this. 9:30 in 30 seconds. Damn, they're really pushing this right before. Right before. But I did low six figures last year, from trading. I did what's it called? Guys, I'm losing my train of thought so often. Maybe I need coffee, man. Maybe I just need coffee. Okay, let's see. 9:30 open in 1 second. There she is. There she blows. There she blows. Good morning, hunks. Chunks. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Sorry. Previous 5 minute high. Swept. I have conflicting ideas here. Because I could frame a long. Where I would frame a long from though would be from this high. Gone. Let me grab this. From this high to this low. First low at a discounted price point. So I would need to see a closure above. Ideally, I would need to see a closure above the 257s. And if we can manage to get that, then I might look to put on some risk here. Um, 257s. Okay. See if we can get a closure here above 257s. And then I do kind of want to let these first 5 minutes play out though. 257s and then target the highs, but let's see. All right, boys. Let's ride. Wait, do I have enough time to put this order in? Hold on, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec. Let me make sure I'm on the right account. Hmm. I don't know about this confirmation yet. Not in anything. Just give me a second. Processing, processing. First low at a discounted price point would be the 200s. 251. Can we reclaim 251? Okay. All right, boys. I'm in at 251.25. Stop is at 202. I just want to see if maybe we can get a move on here to the upside. Either we get instantly stopped out or we actually get a nice little move here. So we'll see. Looks like it might be that instant, the instant stop out. Yeah, boys. No luck there. Let's see. Can we get a nice little last push here at 212s? Or does she just want to collapse on us? What is it? 50%, respect to 50%? It's 50% of the range. And it's what I took here pretty much. Yeah, I got sucked out there, unfortunately, boys. Okay. Hmm. Can I re-enter? Guys, honestly, it's so hard to manage a 15-second position while I'm trying to like read chat and also draw it on the trading view. I might actually just I might actually just put up trade of eight and then that way you guys can just see me execute as opposed to like me trying to draw the everything on the chart. I was like, I'm like, I got Tradeovate open right here. I'm looking at Tradeovate. I'm looking at chart or a chat. I'm looking at the chart. I'm making sure that what I'm drawing is making sense. I swear, like three different minds, man. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this up. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Uh, what was I gonna do? Right. Oh my God. Okay. Can I actually pull this up? Okay, here we go. You guys, I'm not even kidding. Like my brain was like in multiple fucking places. Uh, okay, you guys can see my screen. Cool. And let me pull up my trading view and have this up so I can actually see the chart fully. Okay, cool. So here I would be looking for, hopefully you guys can see everything just fine. Okay, cool. Here I would be looking for a closure. I mean, at least a closure above the two. If I'm looking for bullish, 225s would be the bullish closure from here. And that means that my stop would go here at 192. But if we fail to close above that, where is this is also like trade of it is like kind of like not that good for marking the chart up. I'll be honest with you. So we'll see. What I am looking for here, the thing is the 15 already swept the previous 15-minute high, but we could potentially reaccumulate between the premium and the discount of 192 and the 139. Oh my God, boys. That is hilarious, man. You guys should have, like, honestly, my brain was all over the place. my, my brain was seriously all over the place. Yo, update your Chrome? No, bro. Anyways, yeah. So it looks like it's just going for the low at this point, which I honestly can't really see a viable long here, which I was looking for. But if we get so a tap into the 153s, 155s, do we have a divergence here with yes? Okay. If we get a closure, um, yeah, 166s would validate some longs here for me. We don't have a divergence though with yes. However, I wouldn't be opposed to this. You guys will see how quick these scalps are, by the way. Like 155 discount. Yeah, really failing to get a closure above that. But let's see. If we can get a closure on this candle, I think I might be incentivized to to potentially move this to some longs. 166 okay. Let's see if we can get filled on this order here. I do like the fact that we closed above that 166. Oh, no fill. Don't, come on. If we take the 193 highs, yeah. Hmm. Let's see. All right, I'm tagged in at 166.75. If we can revisit back into the 192s, then I might look to go break even. Again, I'm taking very small risk on this one because it is a high risk one, but I do think we get a nice little push here. If we can get back into the 193s, that would be splendid. Come on, give us a push. Give us a push. How many ticks do you usually target when scalping? 25 points to 30 points. So once we get above the 186s, I'm gonna go ahead and move to break even. Okay, that's my break even. And then I'm gonna just look to trail my stop into the highs at 201. Nice. So I'm just kind of trailing very aggressively here because we're beyond what my initial target was. And then my trail now is at 216. So if we can get into the 228s, nice, beautiful stuff. So trail to that high. So either we let this run or it stops me out there. Perfect. That's one trade. So yeah, I'll kind of walk you guys through the logic. I know it's a lot to take in at once, but there you go. Perfect execution. It was a beauty. She was a beauty. That was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Um, yeah, beautiful, beautiful trade. See ya, George. Okay. Um, I wouldn't be opposed to a continuation here because A, what was I looking at? Do you just scalp for props or do you do it with your live account? I do it with my live account as well. But again, I'm running kind of a really small. How many ticks was that trade? Oh, that's a great question. Let me check. I think it was this was from Where is my entry? From 166 to 229. From 166 to 229. Yeah. 166 to 229. So that's about, can I do math in my head? 229. That's about 63 points. So we managed to capture a nice little 63 points there on that 15-second execution. She was a beaut. Yeah, 60 points ish. Yeah. So up nicely. Let's see if we can manage to get another one. 1 minute candles look weird. Love it. Yeah. So right now I'm on the 5 second chart. I can execute on the 5 second chart. But I would need to see us come back down into the 1 minute swing. Guys, listen, I know this seems almost a little too cracked out, but I promise it all makes sense. I've just been doing it for a while and um it takes me a little bit to walk you guys through it, but I promise it all makes sense. So here I would be potentially looking for a reaccumulation at the 168s. So if we can manage to get a closure actually above the 182s, I'd look to also look for an entry there and then retarget the 244s because we do have a 1 minute swing here. So I think if we manage to see, now this is I have to watch the stream tomorrow. You are sick. I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll see. What I'm gonna do here actually though is I'm gonna de that's fine. Let's see if we can get a reaccumulation here. If we get above the 204s, then I'll look to go break even. As it'll be likely a 1R. Okay, perfect. So here, I'm just going to look to go break even because I don't want this to come against me now. And we're in that sweet spot almost. In that sweet spot almost where I would love to see this push here as opposed to it just coming back down into my entry price. Yeah. So there's that. That's fine. We'll take it. Again, these guys, these are very, very quick. It's like that. The 15 second is not as quick. All right. Yeah, because this is the five, but you guys get the idea. I'm pretty much looking for 1 minute swings, 5 second bro's cracked out or he's on crack. I don't know. This time frame would give me anxiety. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. So see, we really, really did fail to get above the 203. And the 203 was actually um what's it called? 203 was near the previous minute highs. So so let's see. Yeah, ES is pushing down. I'm watching that. Yes, this is also another thing. Like the Trade of a drawing tools, Trade of a tools, um, just throw me off so much. Good morning. What's up, man? But yeah, that this was a really, 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 really wonderful trade here, boys. So what I'm gonna do here now is I'm actually going to decrease my risk because I've taken a win. I took a win. It was a really, really solid win. It was like a 60 point win there. I've taken a break even, and so I'm sitting at around 3 trades now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decrease my risk by half. So just in case I do end up taking a losing trade, um, it's not going to really affect me that much, and I'll still end the day green. Short bias. Yeah, 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 absolutely. No, 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 I agree. I think this might want to continue lower, but at this point, I don't really want to catch myself looking for shorts at the lows. So I think I'll just let price kind of develop. I'll let it do its thing. And then I'll break down the trade that I just took on TradingView so you guys can understand what the logic was there. But yeah, it looks like we're going for the low, which means that we're going to be targeting the 0.74s. So 0.74s are like all the way down here. 74s, yeah, right here. It looks like that's the area. I'm sure from 203, where would be a stop? I don't know, man. Wouldn't really recommend, like, I don't have a recommendation. I don't know what your trade looks like. I don't know what the model looks like. So it really just depends. But yeah, I'm glad you guys, I'm glad you actually That actually secured a payout for me, by the way, that trade. So I don't think I want to necessarily trade a little bit more on here. But um, what's it called? Yeah, I'm actually glad I got to show you guys on Trade of Eight because it moves really fast. So whenever I go like really silent or quiet, um, it's not because of anything. It's because I'm like trying to really, really focus on what I'm doing. So I think I would just I think I would much rather just show you guys the Trade of Eight than the trading view whenever I'm doing these. Okay, let's see. Bang, hell yeah. Okay, let's see. So 5 second manipulation. Like I know where my stop is. Just curious. Oh, you're trading the 5 second as well? Oh man, I appreciate you guys. You guys are cool. Okay, so we actually have a closure here above 143s, which I do like. This would confirm. This would a closure above the 143s would actually confirm a 1 minute order block, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'll tell you what, if we can manage to get back down into the 143s, yeah, this would confirm what time is it? 9:48. So we need the fellow 5 second buddy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would actually need a nice little retrace here. But I need this to close at 9:50. So the reason being is because I am actually using the 5 minute open, high, low, and close, right? And the 15 minute open, high, low, and close. The 15 minute provides me with my bias. The 5 minute is my mid time frame, and it provides me with my structure. So I'm gonna treat the 15 minute highs and lows as my targets, and then I'm gonna use the 5 minute as my structural, the five and the one as my structure and my narrative. So that means that I would like to see a swing on the five. I would like to see a swing on the one. And then I would like to see a discounted price point, a discounted price leg on the 15-second chart. So then I can look to execute. Hopefully that makes sense. So now we have a dealing range here. So from 214, from 29,088 to 214, we now have a new established dealing range, which means that I would already long from 121. Ha, that's crazy, brother. That's crazy. Good stuff. No longs for me here. But I would need to see a retrace back into a discounted price point. So then I could look for some sort of reaccumulation here. But it looks like she's just gunning for the highs now. That's fine, honestly. We've taken I like longs from 166. Yeah. So that discounted price point would actually be below the 163s. Forgotten. I can't tell if you're joking or not, brother. So 163s. So I would need to see us come back down into the 159s and then potentially reaccumulate here at the 159s. What would be even better though is a retest of the 141s. I'm deadly serious. And again, I am running half risk here, boys, because I this will likely be my last execution. So tapped into 168s. Okay. Let's see if we can get a nice little push here. Wait, did we? Oh no. This was not what I was looking for. Whoops. But yeah, this will likely be my last trade if I get stopped out here. I like the reaction overall. I just want to see if we can get into the 199s, and then if not, I think I'll likely get stopped out here. Again, I'm running half risk, boys. Beautiful stuff. Can we get into the 198s potentially? Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move to break even here, and then I'll look to trail if we can manage to get above into the 239s. We can get a nice little push here. Nice, beautiful stuff. Where's my 20 points? My 20 points, yeah, would be at the 209s or a little bit. Just give me a little bit higher. Give me a little bit more juice, thank you. Give me a little bit more juice here. 209s. Come on, give us a pop above the 209s. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and look to trail to or see if I can get an aggressive trail here. Okay, I'm gonna look to trail to the 210s. And yeah, just continuously trail higher. See if we can get a pop. Can we get that pop? Perfect. Okay. And that is that one. That one was a beautiful scalp. Again, same exact logic. Was waiting for a retrace back into the dealing range. Waited for a what's it called? Sweep at the previous 30-second low, 5 second. Got a 5 second OB. The OB was here at 172. So I marked this candle out. As soon as you see a closure above that candle, 173, and then we came back, retraced, and then my stop was at the 163 low. So another beautiful, beautiful, quick little scalp. This was approximately 177 to 219. So 1977, 323. Um, what's it called? 42 points. Yeah, beautiful stuff, boys. So basically 2 for 3, took a break even on that second trade. But yeah, this is pretty much how scalping the 5 and the 15 second looks like. I'm pretty much just waiting for a previous 5 minute low to be taken, a 5 minute swing to be formed, a 1 minute OB to be confirmed. And then on the 15 and the 5, I wait for a retrace into discount. I mark out the first low at a discount, and then I long the OB after the first low at a discount is confirmed. Thank you for showing this. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a very different universe, and like it's it's yeah, it's a very different universe. Um, you're basically trading what you would on the higher time frame. The difference is it's on a micro scale, so you're really it's quick like that. And to be fair with you guys, I don't suggest this to everybody because a um it's uh it's really fast and people can and I've done it before and it's happened to me before where I can confuse a setup and I'm taking things that I shouldn't. But because of that, like I've been able to really filter out some of the bad trades. And one of the main huge differentiators, great trades after 9:45, up $2,500 for the day. Thanks for hosting. Hey, no, thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay. I'll actually look to potentially take one more setup if we can get it. But what I do need to see here, unfortunately, is just a bit more of a retrace. Um, because if you look at the five, five is actually this is setting up to be a really, really nice buy model. So the draw for me almost looks like it's 291 here at this point. Yeah. Here. The nice little reaccumulation here. What I should have done actually on that 5 second scalp was either move to the 1 minute or the 30 second. Um, and then because we got this closure here on this 15 second, this confirms the 15 second OB, which means we would have just gone for external. So realistically, I should have just kept this break even and then trailed. But the thing is, um, I don't really like to leave stuff on the table. If I'm up 40, 50 points on a trade, especially on a 5 second scalp, I'm gonna very, very aggressively trade or very, very aggressively trail. Anyways, 10 o'clock is coming up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just wait for 10 o'clock to open and then see what we can do from there. What I wouldn't mind actually now is because we've basically confirmed the 5 minute swing, I can now grab this new range and apply the same exact logic. So from the high to the low, the first significant low at a discounted price point would be the 186, 189 or the 162. So what I would like to see here is actually either come back down, retrace, sweep this low, or sweep this. Can I draw again? Sorry. Or come back down and sweep this low. And then potentially maybe see a reaction out of there. So if now, okay, so now price is hypothetically tagged to 188, right? Which means that I would now need to see a closure above the 206 candle in order for us to reach into the 288s. However, there is still some breathing room. Both of these price points are at a discount, right? So I'm technically taking into consideration that these 15-second candles are the candles that are piercing into the price point. So if we manage to get a closure above the 206s here, or the candle that's about to pierce into this low, then I would look for potentially some longs. Okay, so we swept out this low here, 163, which means we could reaccumulate. This is an area of reaccumulation. The one thing I don't like is the fact that we failed to take that high, and the ES is showing some weakness here. So let's see. Let's try and if ES or NQ can successfully reclaim the 178s, the 185s, then I might be looking for another setup. If not, this could potentially just be looking to close bearish here. Need to see a reclaim of the 176s. Again, I'm waiting for these confirmations because they are the main source of criteria for my entry. If I don't see these closures, I simply don't take the trade. It's that simple, you know? So not seeing any closures, we're not really reclaiming these higher prices here, which means that either we go for the low or 126 is our last line of defense. But 10 a.m. is now here, and we now have a higher time from opening candle, which I tend to like to just kind of let it simmer almost, let it play out, let it do its thing before I take anything into consideration. We don't have a 4 hour swing. We do have an hourly swing. But in order for me to confirm this hourly swing, what I would need to see, again, come back down, potentially take out the 115s and the 126s. Let me check ES. Okay, I do like to set up on ES actually. So I'm going to look to do this last long here at 163. So let's see if we get tagged in with a stop at 137. And then see if we get a nice little push here. And then if not, likely get, this will be my last trade for today. Again, at half size. So if I do lose, it's going to be a pretty small loss. And then we can go from there. I will look to go break even at 186s if possible. I would love to see a closure here strongly above the 180, the 180s level. What makes you decide to go half risk? If I've taken more than, or if I've taken 2 wins and I'm looking to take a third trade, I'm going to look to decrease my risk because I don't want to give back. Okay, beautiful stuff here. So I'm going to look to trail now to break even. and then see if we can get a nice little push because we are now in that 1 minute imbalance and I don't want to see this. I'm going to request it after today, actually. So now my next target is the 235s. I obviously want to see a closure above the 206s, but I will look to trail if we can manage to get into the 206s. Really want to see this pop here because ES is giving me a good reaction. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to look to trail above the 206s if possible, and then secure nearly more than 2R because this is an area where I would expect some distribution. Okay, I've trailed to the 206, and that is my stop. Hey, boys, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. That was a beautiful trade. This was, let me draw this out actually. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade as well. So watching you trade the 15 second is amazing to watch. Yeah, appreciate it, man. That was a beautiful trade. I think that was, let me see if I can. Yeah, I did I explain that one a little bit better? My stop was at 137 and then I got trailed at 206s. So that was 1.79 R. I put on 24 points of risk. I managed to capture 44 points. Yeah, 206s. So yeah, wonderful day. We'll be requesting the payout today, boys. Hopefully I think it'll be around like 2 to 3K. Um, but yeah, yeah. Hey, boys, I think I'm gonna call it there. I don't really see myself trading a little bit more than I should. I took 4 trades today. Sorry, can you please just answer my question? Is that previous candle low slash high? You wait for a sweep or previous swing low slash high? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I will let me actually change the screen and I will walk you guys through this. Okay. So in this particular trade, this is the one that I just had marked out. Yeah, stop was at 140. In this particular trade, you can see a couple things that actually work towards my benefit. Have a good weekend, Siri. So look, again, as I mentioned, I said the 15 provides the bias, right? So here are the major differences, and this is why I have ES always pulled up. So NQ actually didn't make a swing. Yeah, 1200. I know what you mean. But listen, NQ actually didn't manage to make a swing. However, ES did. And I like to trade ES via NQ, right? So ES made a swing, NQ failed to make a swing. But to me, I consider that already structurally a swing because of the fact that ES always has the most volume. So in my eyes, we have a swing. And you guys are familiar with this. This is candle one, right? This is candle two. So that means that candle three is likely to make an open low if it's bullish, an open to low. And my first initial target is going to be the previous candle's high, which means that my draw on liquidity is the 288s. That doesn't mean that's my take profit. Don't confuse your draw on liquidity with your take profit. Your draw on liquidity is simply your bias and it's the direction that you want price to go. That doesn't mean that it's your target. It could be your target, but this is simply the direction that I wanted my trade to go in. So if I'm looking for an open to low on this newly formed candle, right? I'm going to drop down to from the 15 to the 1, right? Wait, where did my drawing go? All right, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to drop down to the 15 to the 1, and then I'm going to mark my premium and my discount. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out the first significant low at a discounted price point. You guys have heard me, I've been so repetitive about it. I'm going to mark out the first significant low at a discounted price point. And what price point is that? What's the first low? 951. From then, I drop down to a 15-second chart and I ask myself, okay, what are the candles that were responsible for piercing into this price point? And you can argue that the 959, 15, 950, these general candles were responsible. And so I'm looking for either a premature close above the candles that pierced to confirm my order block above the opening price, which we did get here at 959. You can see that, let me make this bold. That 29,156 price point at 10:01, we got a closure above this candle's opening price. That confirms my order block. That's where I had my limit, my stop there, and then I look to trail or target a 1 minute internal, which we managed to hit here at 206. So I trailed, managed to hit the 1 minute internal, and that was that trade. The same exact logic was applied to this one, right? From this high, to this low, you have a discounted price point, right? What's the first significant low at a discount? It's either going to be this 161, or I do like to target some of these what's it called? Volume imbalances. We failed to sweep out the low, but we were close enough at a discounted price point, tapped into it. And then the same question. What is the candle that pierced? 173. Closure above that candle's opening price. You set the limit at that opening price with the stop below the low. And then you look to trail either to a 1 minute imbalance, a 30-second imbalance, or a 5 minute imbalance. And so I managed to close out, I think, nearly around, what was it? The 220s, something like that. So yeah, the logic is the same, right? I'm using 15-minute for my bias. I'm looking for either a 15-minute swing, a 5 minute swing, and then a 1 minute or a 15-second dealing range. I'm looking to enter at a discount for longs. First low at a discount. If I'm looking to short, I'm looking for the first high at a premium, vice versa. Anyways, hopefully that made sense. If you guys have any more questions in the future, I will be gladly happy to answer them. But I've been on here for quite some time and my brain I am tired. Anyways, boys, I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for stopping by. I'll talk to you guys next week. Again, if you guys have any questions, head over to the Prop Firm Compare Discord. I'm there. Or you can go to propfirm.compare, create an account. If you guys want to trade with these firms, make sure to use code LAB. TPT is currently 50% off with code LAB. We have Tradify 45 or 40% off, geez, and Lucid as well with 40% off. So LAB code LAB. Yeah, any other questions? Let me know. I'll be here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and see you guys next week.